Investors building 55 new homes in Augusta's Olde Town neighborhood, a plan that's 6 years in the making, and people who live there say it's time. A lot has changed and they're ready for improvements. Here's News Channel 6's Ashley Osborne.
People who moved to Olde Town in the early 2000s share stories of the shady activity that plagued its streets.
I've been in drug homes. I've been confronted with pimps. I've seen it all.
Nonprofit leader, business owner, and Olde Town resident Rick Karoglian says his neighborhood is not what it used to be.
This is an area, what I see is hundreds of people down here over the years who have been dreaming and picking up trash, tearing down stuff.
And now on 55 lots where stuff was torn down, Jonathan Aceves with Saunders Investment Group plans to build new homes.
A few partners and myself have been buying drug houses and vacant lots.
He's built new construction in Olde Town before. Aceves describes what he says one block in particular was like just 5 years ago.
There were lookouts. Guys who kind of ran this drug house would sit there, and if you tried to walk across the street, they'd come out, kind of question you, encourage you to move along. Now you go down there and it's like really quiet.
During the last 10 years, he says he's seen more and more families with children move here, and most recently, single women.
Probably the predominant buyer of new projects here.
Aceves points out there's just shy of 1,000 properties in Olde Town, so their 55 new ones is a little more than 5% of the market.
We can move the needle a little bit. I think the people who are really going to change this neighborhood are the people that are around, that are maybe hearing about what's happening, and the people who own that house and all those houses. Those people are going to, hope God willing, fix up their homes and either sell or rent to others.
He hopes to keep Olde Town a place where young and old, owners and renters, families and singles can all be neighbors.
Olde Town is diverse, and that's part of its character. A lot of our neighborhoods in Augusta are not diverse. They're not a place where renters and owners can live. And so my hope is that becomes more of something that the general city sees as a healthy neighborhood.
In Augusta, Ashley Osborne, WJBF News Channel 6.